Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am so excited to be doing. I want to document our journey trying to conceive our second child together. Long story short, we actually have been trying naturally with no interventions now for quite a while. The reason why I'm starting this trying to conceive vlog or whatever now is because I really want to document this journey with you guys. I really enjoy looking at other people's videos about trying to conceive, especially when they are not able to conceive without a little bit of help. So hopefully this will help someone, or if you just want to follow my journey, please subscribe. I would love to have you along for the journey. This will be our very first time using any kind of intervention outside of just natural. Our daughter Aniston took quite a while, but we did conceive her naturally after many months of trying. And this time we thought we would just leisurely try to conceive, see what happened. There really was no rush, but now that things have not happened for us, we have started seeing our doctor and really discussing what our options are. The first thing that my doctor did was ask me kind of how we've been tracking my ovulation and my cycles. Now, early on, I decided I wasn't going to try to do any ovulation kits or anything like that, just because that kind of adds a little bit of stress for me. I don't really like to be stressed out about trying to conceive. I know that stress can be one of the main reasons why you may not conceive if you are trying. So I tried to just leisurely do it. Then after about 5 or 6 months, we did start doing the ovulation kits. And I was able to confirm my ovulation by doing the ovulation kits and kind of coordinating that with temping every month. And if you don't know what any of that is, I can kind of basically explain it. An ovulation kit, what it does is you're supposed to test twice a day. And when you get a positive, that means that you're having an LH surge. Now, after your LH surge, somewhere between 12 hours to 48 hours, you're supposed to ovulate. Now, what temping does is you take your temperature every single morning at the same time before you really move, get out of bed, speak, anything like that, which was very difficult for me because a lot of mornings, honestly, I would just forget to do it. So a lot of my charts were kind of all over the place. But once you ovulate, you're supposed to see a temperature dip. So that's how I was kind of mapping my ovulation out. And then once we hit that point where we were just not conceiving on our own, we saw our doctor. Now, when I saw my doctor the first time, I was very nervous. Like I said, with our daughter Aniston, we conceived her on our own. Even though it took a while, we still conceived her with no help, outside help at all, and without using any kind of ovulation test or anything like that. So basically, the month that I went to see her was the 1 month that I thought maybe I had not ovulated. I feel every month when I ovulate the metal schmerz pain, which a lot of women feel it. It's not uncommon at all. And a lot of women who don't feel pain still can tell when they're ovulating most of the time because they feel kind of like the twitching in the ovaries or something like that. Obviously, your body has mucus changes around the time of ovulation. Sorry, TMI. So most women can probably tell you when they ovulate. I was just one of those. When I do ovulate, I do feel a little bit of pain. So sitting down sometimes can be a little bit uncomfortable, and there's about a 6-hour period on my ovulation day that it is quite painful. So the month that I saw my doctor was the first month in about 8 months that I had not felt the ovulation pain. So I was very curious if I had even ovulated. And I was like, what are the chances that the one time I go to the doctor, it's the 1 month I did not ovulate? So when she was talking to me, having the graphs of my temping and having the photos of my ovulation kits, I don't say that they were necessary, but I think they did help her determine that yes, I was ovulating every month. So what she decided to do was take a progesterone level. I told her that I believe I should have ovulated the Sunday before my appointment. And I told her that I had the mucus changes and all that good stuff, but I told her that I did not feel the ovulation pain this month. And ironically, I did not take any OPKs that month just because I knew I was going to talk to her anyways. So I did not do the ovulation kits that month. So the following Tuesday would have been about 7 DPO. And the reason why they take the progesterone level at 7 to 8 DPO is because after you ovulate, if you ovulate, at 7 to 8 DPO, the progesterone will peak to a certain level. And online, I've read all kinds of contradicting numbers. I believe from what I've read, a level of progesterone that is 8 to 10 or above indicates that you have ovulated. Now, if you're on fertility medication, I believe a level above 15 will indicate that you've ovulated, and that's what they want to see if you're on like Clomid or Clomid or Femera, anything like that. So on Tuesday, following that appointment, I went to the lab, and we have a lab in my office where I work, so I had my blood drawn, and the next day I found out my progesterone level was a 0.4. Now, this did not really shock me, but I was a little bit surprised. I thought maybe I had ovulated and it just wasn't like good enough, so I thought maybe I just had low progesterone in general, and that was the issue that I was having. So I was a little bummed out to find out it was a 0.4, but that just confirmed that I did not ovulate at all this past month. Which, yeah, it's kind of, you know, it kind of does make you a little bit sad, because you kind of wonder, like, what's wrong? You know, why is this going on? And we know it's not my husband, because he has been checked and everything is fine. He was quite proud of his results. So yeah, it was a little bit disheartening, but I knew that there's obviously great options for women who have kind of fertility issues. You know, it's great that there's options out there for those of us who just can't get pregnant, you know, in that first year of trying naturally. So what she told me was that we can go ahead and start a round or rounds of Clomid. Now, Clomid is kind of what I was expecting that she would say. Naturally, it's not my first thing that I just want to jump out and do, but Aniston did take a while to conceive, and we're not having any luck for this time. My husband's been home from deployment for 1.5 years now. So yeah, about 1.5 years. And you know, there's just been no luck with us trying to conceive. So we are going to start Clomid, and that brings me to why I'm doing this video, because I would just love to document my journey with Clomid. Now, I believe I actually am going to be on Clomiphene. When I picked it up, it's like the off-brand version. They didn't even ask me, they just gave me that. I'm assuming it's because it's probably a lot cheaper than the name brand medication. There are things that I'm worried about, and the first thing, well, there's two things I'm worried about. The first thing I'm worried about is the side effects. Now, I have read up and researched Clomid for a little bit. Even prior, like a few months prior to this appointment, I was already kind of looking into it just to kind of see what it was like. I watched videos on YouTube, which were so very helpful for me when I was kind of researching, and I have seen women say they felt absolutely no side effects whatsoever. And then it's all across the board. So the women that have had horrible hot flashes, could barely stand and take it, horrible, you know, abdominal cramps, all kinds of things. So naturally, I'm very curious as to how my body will react on this medication. But typically, when I take medications, I tend to have side effects that are least severe than the average. So of course, I'm praying that I do not have a bad reaction to it. I've heard you can take it at nighttime to make it better. The way she prescribed it to me was cycle day 3 through 7. So when your period starts, that becomes cycle day 1. So cycle day 3 through 7, for those 5 days, I will take 1 pill every day. And then on cycle day 21, assuming I ovulate on cycle day 14, they will take another progesterone level, and if it is at the number they would like to see, which will be 15 or above, that will mean that I've ovulated and that the Clomid is working. Now, the second thing that I'm worried about with Clomid is the risk of multiples. Not that I'm just feel like if I had multiples, I would freak out completely, but my sister has identical twin boys, so I am aware of how overwhelming it can be with twins or any kind of multiples. Obviously, the more you have, the more overwhelming it can be. And already having a 2.5-year-old who keeps me so busy, I am very nervous. If, you know, the risk I believe she told me was 10% twins, 6% triplets. So I'm praying to the Lord that we have just one beautiful baby. But honestly, whatever we are blessed with, I will welcome with open arms and with an open heart. We would just love to have more children, whether it be through us having it biologically or even adoption down the road. So I am just very anxious and excited to go down this journey, and I would love to have you guys come along with me. If you have an experience with Clomid or any kind of fertility medication or procedure, please let me know. I would love to talk about it and hear your experience with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be updating as soon as I am on my first round, which I believe should be next week sometime if everything stays the same. Since I did not ovulate this month, I'm not sure when my cycle will start. I'm hoping it's still at the normal time and this was just like an anovulatory cycle, but I'm not really sure. But I will update you guys as soon as we get on it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.